So I was in the grocery store the other day where I seem to be all the time these days, feeding my family, trying to do my part. And I was standing in line because I was in the middle of like a scene and I was like, I cannot self check myself out. I needed more time. So I decided to stand in a line where I could, have someone check me out. And I was, had my book on top of I think it was like a container of strawberries, and then I had like blueberries, strawberries, and then I had another container of kiwis, and it was like a stack, and I could sit my book on top of it, and I was like reading. And this gentleman behind me was like, "Wow, you seem to have it kind of figured out, you know, have it down packed." And I was like, yeah, I do. And he went on an essay. He was like, I always wanted to read, but I never really have the time to read. How do you find the time to read? And we had this like conversation. And I was struck by the question because I never really thought about it and how I have time to read. Like, I didn't think it was a question that like people ask, like, oh, people want to read, but they don't feel like they have the time to read, or they're like, how do you make time to read? Like, how do you fit reading into your life? And so that is what I want to talk about today, because I was like, this is a fascinating question, and I never really thought about it. So, bookish people, how do we find time to read? I have always read, um, and I remember getting in trouble because I would read way into the night, like into the AM time. And then I was exhausted during school. And it became such a problem that I was punished. My punishment, my parents took the books out of my room. That was devastating, you guys. It was a real punishment. Yeah, my books. I had a TV in my room. I never really turned TV on. I wasn't really interested in it. My books, though, my books, mm-mm, they did that. They did that. And I had to learn. I had to learn. So yeah, I've always like read. Reading has always been a part of my life. But I will admit, like, there was a season, especially as motherhood came in and, working, and also when you're married and you share your like, you're not just living in like your way and your habits, but you're kind of compromising and doing all sorts of things. So my reading has changed over the years, and one of the things that made me want to like start this channel is because I realized I wasn't reading as much, and I wasn't reading story as much. I became this like serious adult, and I was really reading a lot of nonfiction, like so much nonfiction. And although I love reading nonfiction, and I enjoy that, my heart is in fiction, and my first love is story. So I was out of habit, you guys. Honestly, when I started this channel, I was like, I don't know. I haven't like read in the way that I used to read, where I was reading multiple books at a time. Um, and I really kind of have traded that time in for more social media, like doom scrolling. That's a thing. And I doom scroll. And so when I started this channel and I started connecting back, I one of the reasons why I wanted to do it and was because I was like, I have an unhealthy amount of time over here in like, screen world, and I'm missing out on something that brought me a lot of joy, which is reading. And so I had to get back in the habit and like back in the practice of it, and it came very quickly. So for those of you who don't know my life, I am, and this is really for people who like really have this question. I think that if you're a reader, you can add what you do in the comments below to help people that are like, I want to start reading, but I don't know like where I can fit it in and how that happens. I am a mom. I have three girls. I'm a homeschooling mom. My oldest just went to college. I'm a wife. I work full time. I'm an editor. So I work outside of my house full time. I also am a mom to a Pomeranian. That's a whole separate thing, you guys. Like, mom to a Pomeranian. That's what I need you to know. My little heartthrob takes up my time. I am a children's ministry director. Love that. Have my kids in my life. And, a friend. I have sisters. Like, I have other hobbies. So I just want to paint a picture that my life is full. I have a lot of things going on with it. Um, and I read, and I have this, and I have you guys. And so I appreciated the question that he asked me, like, how do you find time to do it? I think that there is maybe like a conception that people who love to read, they have like hours where they're sitting in a sun-drenched room and they're just lounging and they're reading their book and they can just like, oh, like just read for hours. Those opportunities are far and few between for me in this season of my life. In other seasons of my life, I did have like more leisurely time to just sit and read. But in this season of my life, it is not like that. And so I would say that no matter what season in your life is, you can find time to read. You just have to do it. So what that looks for like for me, as I described to this man, it looks like exactly what I titled this channel, because it's something that I was telling myself in order for me to re-engage with literature in the way in which I want to and in the way in which I did in the past. I need to always be reading. And so I am more disciplined to look for opportunities within my day and create opportunities in my day for me to read. And that could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, it could be an hour sometimes. But I look for smaller moments to read. So when you would pick up a phone to like scroll because you don't have like a specific reason to do that, you're just like, did anyone email me? Did anyone text me? Is anything new going on in the world within the last 10 minutes that I checked it? Those are great opportunities that I have flipped into picking up a book. So a couple things. Number one, if I am someplace, a book is with me, at least one. I always have a book nearby. And because I also, you guys, this is from my current stack of books that are right here. Bless my husband, because he lives with books. But because I also like to write down my thoughts, I also have like my book journal, which is one type of journal in one color. I will do another video on my whole like journal ecosystem because it's pretty intense, y'all. It's pretty intense. And I also usually have like a post-it. These serve as great bookmarks for me because I can write, like capture some things and write and put it in my book. I also write in my books. I am that girl and I do that. So that means I have a pen with me and my book. So cute little bags, like the little bags that are so cute. Those don't work for me because I need to always have a book with me to feel complete. So that's the first thing I would say if you want to start adding reading into your life as more of a habit. Always have a book with you that you're reading. It's very simple. Have a book. The second thing I would say is start out to try to say, you know what, maybe I'm going to get 20 minutes in reading a day. And then create opportunities for you to do that. Some people listen to books on audio or like Audible or something like that, which is fine. I have to read my books because it's hard for me to retain what I am hearing when I'm listening to it. So that's why I have to read my books. But whatever way works for you, do what works for you. Don't worry what works for someone else. But try to like maybe set a goal, like I want to get in 20 minutes of reading. And so maybe that means waking up a little earlier. I love, 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 love starting my days off where I am reading in the morning. I want to wake up early enough, you guys, where I can get a solid hour of reading in the morning. For me, that's like 4:30 in the morning. I haven't done that yet, but I do wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, and I can get some good time where it's just me and the quiet and the book, and it feels beautiful. It feels civilized to me. It feels restorative. It is medicinal time for me. That may not be for you at that time, but my point is, whatever time that works. I also take reading. I take a reading break in my day, um, in my work day, and I allow myself to have that break. You will be amazed what 10 minutes will do. I just say, I'm stepping away from my work. I am stepping away from my computer. I work remotely at home, and I'm going to go to my couch because usually I'm working in my room, and I go to my couch and I sit down. I move the clothes. I move the mess. The 10 minutes is not for me to clean up the mess in my life. I move the mess. I ignore the mess. I say, mess, not now. And I pick up my book and I read. So that's another way that I get in some time. In 10 minutes of reading, again, it is like medicine, you guys. Like once you start this, you are going to be like, woo. Now, when you want to take it up a notch, if you want to take it up a notch, I also read when I walk sometimes. I can read and walk. I can read and walk. If I am by myself and I am having a stroll, it could be from the car to a restaurant. Couple blocks, book is out. If I'm not with somebody and I'm reading, I might get a page in. It's a little bit at a time. That is what you're aiming for. How do you tackle a book? A little at a time, paragraph by paragraph, paragraph by paragraph, you all. That's the secret to it. Another thing, the bathroom. So instead of taking your phone into the bathroom, and I know you all do that, no judgment, I did it too. Stop taking your phone into the bathroom. Take a book into the bathroom, or better yet, leave a book into the bathroom. So another way, like if I have like long books that I'm like, I know that we're just going to be in a relationship for a while, I will leave that book in the bathroom, and I will also leave a pen. But I have people in my house that take pens, y'all. So my pens are not respected. Maybe where you are, it's respected. So I try to have a pen, and then I have my little post-it thing. And I will read. Maybe it's just a couple of paragraphs. Maybe it's a page. But little bit by little bit, I will read. And I like to have a book in each bathroom, like one on the main floor, one upstairs in my bathroom in my room. And in this way, it's like little by little, I'm just getting through this book. This is my bathroom book. And that way I don't have to worry about like remembering, like, where's my book? Let me bring my book, because I have a book that is in there. That is a great way for you to work through a book. Another thing that I like to do, when I do it, I really enjoy it, but I don't have the habit of doing it because I've developed a bad habit that I am currently working on. Help me. Reading before bed. I get the best sleep, you guys, when I read before bed, depending on what I'm reading now. This book that I just finished, Brown Girl in the Ring, I should not have read that before bed. But most other books I'm pretty good with. And I just love it. 30 minutes before bed, whatever, just read. I put on my music, set a little mood, and I read, and it just calms me down, settles me out. And my bedtime reading is not about me getting through the book. It is about the book calming me down, settling me down, and helping me to get ready for bed. And so I sometimes, yeah, like I will read like chapters. Sometimes I am out after paragraph, and either is okay. But reading before bed is a really, really, it's a treat. So my goal is to turn off my phone, to not look at the Insta or the TikTok, and to get into my book and to read my book and to finish it. So waking, sleeping, bathroom, walking, always with me. Another way there are lots of times in life when we're waiting. Like, for example, which is why you should always have your book with you, because if you are like meeting a friend for a coffee, well, sometimes that friend might be a few minutes late. Great reading time. If you are at a doctor's office, you know you're going to wait a little bit there. Guess what you have? Great reading time. If you are take public transportation, a train or a bus, guess what you have? Great reading time. And so I really feel like there's lots of those opportunities that within a week, you have found like hours within a week where you can read, which is why you should always be reading. And if you really are like, really want to step it up, grocery shopping or any type of shopping, you can set that card up, y'all, like this. I have binders so that my books are like propped up, on my food, like the man that saw me. And I will read and shop. Now, that's a special skill because you don't want to hurt anybody out here on these aisle streets that you're going to be in. So, you got to really work up to that ability to have that great peripheral vision. And it also helps if you know the store. Like I do this when I have certain grocery stores where I know where everything is. I can work for the store. I can help people find stuff. And when they decide to move it, it really irritates me because then I have to like relearn my system. So stores like that I know, I am so good to pull out my book and to read and to shop. Especially, I have to be with myself because, I do give humans that I'm with my time and energy. But when I'm with myself and I just have that time, that is like such great time. And I open up my book and I read, and I know people are like, ooh, what is she doing? Like it's mysterious or it could be weird to people. I don't know. I don't care. And I just read my book. I flip my pages. I grab my milk, my stuff. I put it in my cart, and it just takes also the stress. I don't really like grocery shopping. So let's start there. I do not like grocery shopping. And to be honest with you, I don't really like shopping, the experience of it. I like getting things. I like having new things. And I like food in my house. I just don't like the experience of shopping. So for me, reading while shopping, the reading takes me away from the task of shopping that I do not like to do. And it focuses my attention on reading, which I do like to do. And so then shopping becomes a treat. And that's what that's all about. So if you're like me, like try that method. But my whole point is always be looking for an opportunity to read. That's what readers do. We always have books with us or on us or available to listen to, whatever that method is. And the moments that the instincts, those moments where you go to pick up your phone, stop yourself. Is it an emergency? Do I need directions? Am I having a conversation with somebody? If it's not those things, set your phone down, pick up a book, and for those 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 30, 40, 60 minutes that you have, read, read, and get yourself into the world of story. That's the best advice that I have and the best way that I know to answer that question, because that's what I do. I also read while doing laundry. Like binder clips, y'all, are good. They have this book thing. I bought it for my daughter. It's a book weight. It's beautiful. I got it from Barnes and Noble last year as part of her Christmas present, and it lays it flat. I need to get one for myself, but I haven't. And she is a reader and does not share it. So what I do in the meantime is I have binder clips that are just like that hold the page, or you could just set whatever. Sometimes I like lodge my book underneath my dog when he's there and he's my page holder. Whatever works. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to work. And so, like, once you are in the habit of looking for those opportunities for you to pull out your book and engage it, and you're inside the story, you're going to want to just keep looking for those opportunities. And then you just figure it out. And next thing you know, I'm going to see you in the grocery store. You're going to have your book open, on your stuff. Just don't open it on your bread because we don't want to mess up the bread, and don't open it on the eggs because, those are the sensitive things. And especially with the way prices are really increasing these days, you want to protect those things. But I'm going to see you. You're going to have it open, and we're going to look. and we're going to smile at each other. And we're not going to interrupt each other because it's our personal introverted me time with this book, but we're going to have a knowing, encouraging glance. Yes, yes, I see you. Yes. And that will be us. So I hope that this answers your question. I hope that it's useful for those of you all who have other tips and strategies and ways that you get it in. Please put it in the comments below and help them out. And until next time, you guys, keep a book with you. Keep a book with you in your bags. And you know what to do. Always be reading. Bye.